comes to traditional wet shaving, you're going to learn a crap ton of stuff. You may do a certain thing for a little while, and then over time, you change it up a little bit. You might add something, you may take something away, you might try a different technique. Either way, as long as you're getting a great shave and you're happy with how you're shaving, there is no right or wrong way of doing it. You shave how you want to shave, and if you're happy with it, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And if you are new to traditional wet shaving and you happen to be watching this video, first off, thank you, appreciate it. Secondly, I'm just gonna share what I've learned and what I've changed throughout my 1.5 years of traditional wet shaving. So for my soap, I'll be going in with E&S Rasage Traditionnel. I think I just butchered that one. Aqua Viva. The scent of this soap is basically this picture. You've got some beautiful greens in here, lemon and citrus. I also get a sense of floral within here and maybe some musk and sandalwood, all blended together to create a beautiful scent. Now, because this is a very soft soap, I'm gonna go ahead and bowl lather with my custom made spot prints bowl. Look at this beauty. And to lather up, I'll be using the AL13 with a G5C synthetic knot. And to take down a few days worth of growth, I'll be going in with a razor that I always highly recommend to somebody new to traditional wet shaving, and that is the Henson AL13. Now this guy here is the medium. Now once all the growth is gone, I'll go ahead and end off the entire shave with E&S aftershave splash. First, let's get the face wet and get the pre-shave on. And now I'll get things started with the PAA Cube 2.0. One thing I love about pre-shave is the fact that it just adds a little extra slickness to my shaves. And now when bowl lathering, you really only need roughly an almond size worth of soap. Now in my case, I have an abundance of soap. So if I happen to use a little more than that size, it's not going to be the end of the world. Now because I have kids, I ended up finding the perfect tool to scoop out soap. So I'll be using my kid's old baby spoon. And I scooped out yay much. Yeah, one thing I like to do when bowl lathering is smear my soap all around the bottom of the bowl. It's easier to lather that way. All right, so my soap is nicely smeared around. I do have a little bit of soap left on my finger. So I'll go ahead, put it on my face, because at the end of the day, this is where it's going anyways. Now, as far as loading my brush, over the last 1.5 years, I've tried loading my brush in so many different ways. As of late, I've been dunking my synthetic brush into the sink of water, giving a few swirls around, then giving a few really good shakes to get most of the water out. I'm gonna go back to what I used to do, and that is get my synthetic brush wet, then squeeze out as much water as I possibly can and start loading that way, and just gradually add water as I go. So hold tight while I go ahead and load my brush with some water. So now my brush is loaded. Let's go ahead and start lathering. Now before I create a really big lather, I basically just loaded the soap onto my brush from my bowl. So what I'm gonna do now is just paint the soap onto my face and create a barrier, just an added layer of protection until I really start building up my lather. So now that I've painted the soap on my face, what I'm gonna do is load my razor. And with the time I'm spending loading my razor and getting that ready, the soap is softening my hair and getting it ready to be cut. So next, I'll go ahead and load my razor with a Thatcher blade. Now, if you happen to have a Henson, maybe it was given to you as a gift, and you're really not sure which aggression it is, because the Henson does have 3 different aggressions. They have the mild, they have the medium, and they also have the aggressive razor. So when finding out which razor you have, what you're gonna wanna do is untwist the handle, separate the bottom plate from the top cap. And now if you look at the bottom cap with all the grooves in it, you will see some plus signs. So as you can see, I have 2 pluses on this bottom cap, which means it's the medium razor. Another way that you can find out which razor you have, if you grab the top cap and you look at the bottom corner, you will see the plus signs there as well. So if you happen to have a 1 plus sign, that will be the mild. If you have the 2 plus signs, that will be the medium. And if you have 3 plus signs, well, that's the aggressive. So now let me go ahead and load my razor. So now the Henson Medium is loaded and it's ready to get to work. So now what I'm gonna do is really start building up on this lather. Now to add hydration or water, you can do one of two things. You can dip just the tips of the brush into a sink of water, start loading that way, or you can grab a mister, give a couple squirts, and start lathering. But for now, what I'm gonna do is just dip the tips ever so slightly into some water and start building up this lather. So what I'm doing here is splaying my brush. The whole purpose of splaying the brush is to A, help build your lather, and B, splaying the brush helps lift your hairs to get ready to be cut. And I have to say off the hop, this soap is fantastic. If you find that your soap just doesn't seem like it's got enough hydration in it, again, dip the tips of your brush, add a little bit of water that way, and get back to lathering. Alright, so I feel like I have enough lather on my face to get this shave going. One thing I would need to make note, you can lather for as little or as long as you like. I know guys that will lather for 45 minutes. Other guys, maybe 2, 3, or 5 minutes tops. Lathering is all up to you. So you lather as long as you want. And here we go for my first pass with the Henson AL13 Medium, and I'll be going with the grain. If you're wondering what with the grain is, on my cheeks, for example, my hair grows downwards. So when I say I'm shaving with the grain, I'll be shaving downwards with the growth of my hair. Also, if you hear guys saying things like growth or grain, that all is related to your hair. So if someone says I'm going with the grain or with the growth, they're just going with their hair. All right, and there you have it. First pass is done. The soap is feeling really nice. The slickness is fantastic. The scent in here is amazing. And I have to say the residual slickness is actually kind of surprising. It's the first time I'm using this Artisan. So right now, overall, this is a fantastic shave. Now let me go ahead, lather up, and get on with that second pass. And now if you're questioning why I'm going to shave again, as I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, when it comes to traditional wet shaving, you shave the way you want to shave. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and do a second pass. So hold up while I get my face all lathered up and get on with that second pass. I may sound like a broken record, but if you are new to traditional wet shaving, you're going to find that you're always learning. And as you're going, everything that you're learning, you will eventually turn it into what works best for you. For example, lathering, for me, I just learned a whole brand new technique, which I've been enjoying. And it's been making my shaves feel a heck of a lot better. So if there's something that you're picking up that I've taught you, that's amazing. Hopefully, you'll end up turning it into your own sort of technique. And if you're watching something that I'm doing that you totally disagree with, I get it. There's a lot of things that guys do out there that I'm like, I don't know if I would do that. But at the end of the day, this is my shave, not yours. Just like it's their shave, not mine. So let me go ahead and get on with that second pass. All right, here we go for my second pass with the Henson AL13 Medium, and I'll be going across the grain, which means I will be shaving across the growth of my facial hair. All right, and there you have it. Second pass done. Let me go ahead and get ready for that third and final pass. And I know you may be asking, well, why are you shaving again? You must spend 4 hours shaving. At the end of the day, if you only want to do one pass, get in, get out, and get on with your day, you go ahead and do that. If you're enjoying the shave and it's making you happy, then kudos to you, my friend. And if you want to do 2 passes, you can do that. If you want to do 3, go nuts. You do you, my friend. And if you even want to do 4 or more passes, again, it's your shave. You do what makes you happy. So let me go ahead, lather up, get on with that third and final pass. I am loving the scent of this soap. And because I've never used this artisan before, I'm learning how much hydration this soap needs or can use. And right now, it seems to be working out very well. As a matter of fact, I'll show you guys what I have left over. There's a nice little mountain of lather. Alright, here we go for my third and final pass with the Henson AL13 Medium. I'll be going against the grain. And what I mean by against the grain, I will be shaving upwards. All right, and there you have it. Third and final pass done. This is feeling like a fantastic shave. And I gotta say, moving forward, I will be switching up how I shave my neck area. Let me go ahead, wash off the rest of the soap, and finish off the rest of the shave. Hold tight. Next, I'll get in there with the Parker's Alum Block. Now, if you're wondering what the heck this alum block thing is, the alum serves a bunch of different purposes. It helps heal any nicks you may have gotten during your shave and helps with any irritation you may have gotten during your shave. And the one thing that I really like about the alum is it gives me a good indication on how well the shave actually went. Right now, I feel next to no stinging at all. If my face was stinging a lot or there was a burning sensation, then I know that I was being way too aggressive during that shave. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Heck, maybe I gave myself a nick or two because I wasn't respecting the razor. And by the way, it doesn't matter how mild your razor may be, you need to always be aware that you could still nick yourself, even if it's the most mild razor on the market. So now, what I'm gonna do is clean up my gear, clean up my area, and get everything ready for my next shave. So hold tight while I get everything all cleaned up. Alright, so the Henson is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. And the AL13 is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. So now my gear and my area is all cleaned up and ready for my next shave. While I was cleaning, I could feel the alum on my face tingling and doing its thing, maybe tightening my skin a little. And as a matter of fact, while I'm speaking to you right now, I still feel the alum on my face working its magic and doing its thing. I just gotta make a quick note though. The alum isn't for everyone. I've come to learn that there's a couple of guys out there that cannot use alum because it gives them irritation. So keep in mind that if you do use the alum and you keep getting irritation, maybe it's not for you. So now what I'm going to do is wash off the alum with cold water, and I do recommend washing it off. Get ready to put on some Thayers. First, I'll apply the clear Thayers, followed by the Hydrating Milky Toner. And now I've just started doing another little technique. Try it if you haven't already, but what I'm gonna do, E&S Aqua Viva first, and then I'm gonna go ahead with the Milky Toner. Oh, there's definitely alcohol in this. The scent and the feeling is amazing. So now what I'm gonna do is apply the Thayers Hydrating Milky Toner and E&S Aftershave Splash. So what the Milky Toner just did was it took this alcohol-based splash and just turned it into skin food. This feels amazing. Head over to Stonefield Company, especially if you live in Canada, and pick up some E&S right now. All right, and there you have it, end of the shave. Once again, if you are new, I really hope you're able to grab something out of this video that can help you out in some way, shape, or form. On that note, you make it a great shave because it's yours, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.